Okay, hello. My name is Andrew McDonald. I'm a software engineer and hacker and maker and do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I'm Anthony Milton, and I'm also an engineer, a software engineer.
So today we're here representing the IEEE Computer Society. So we're going to introduce a bit of that about ourselves, about that, and then we're going to show you what we've got on display at our booth for people to come and play with, and if you get lucky, take away a freebie. So I don't know if anyone's heard of the IEEE, or maybe you've only heard of it as a standard for wireless communication, but it actually stands for the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, and it's a worldwide professional organisation for people to get together, network, learn about their field and generally share information. Next. In South Australia, the worldwide organisation has what we call chapters, which are special interest groups. For example, there's a women in engineering group, there's signal processing, a whole bunch of ones, and the computer chapter, which is us. So we have a chapter here in South Australia, so we meet regularly and like to conduct activities. Because apart from sharing information with each other, we like to raise awareness of technology and computer to the wider community. So as part of that, each year we like to run a variety of free lectures which are open not just to our members but to the community. This year, for example, we've been running a whole series on machine learning, and we've been getting in various speakers who are experts in that to come and talk about various topics. Some of it does get a bit esoteric, so this might be more if you're a student or engineer in a career. So we've been having free lectures on, for example, real-time classification of viruses. We've had ones on how to apply machine learning to computer security and other topics. Last year we were privileged to have a video hookup internationally with Camilla Taylor, who works for LinkedIn, and she's also a roboticist and author of the book Women in Technology. And we also like to sponsor a few community events. So I don't know if anyone here heard of hackathons or not. There's the big government, the GovHack one that's on every year, but there's also another one called NASA Space Apps, which is arranged with data that NASA provides to the community. So this year, Space Apps we've had it the last 2 or 3 years here in Adelaide in South Australia, and the IEEE is a co-sponsor of that. Now, a lot of people think hackathons and they think, oh, it's all for people that program computers, but it's a lot more than that. We try to encourage everybody, whether you're an artist or a designer or a business person or a teacher or retired. It's all about community science and not necessarily about writing an app, but basically turning up and trying to solve a challenge and presenting it. So it's about meeting new people and doing something interesting for the community. So moving on to wearable tech, does anyone know what this is? Yeah, so this is actually like from the 1880s. So it's a stereo picture view, as was pointed out. So today we're going to be talking about virtual reality, which, you know, people associate with super duper expensive computers and expensive headgear that you wander around on. But a lot of that VR just comes down to an immersing yourself in a picture and turning around. And so in the 1880s they had thought of that already. So in some ways it's not that new. So VR, if you're not across it, basically involves, like I said, making an immersive imagery that you put on a headset and suddenly you're just there. It has a lot of applications these days in gaming, which is where a lot of the research is, but also in everything from, say, doing a walkthrough if you're a real estate agent to see what it's like to be in the house. Yeah, come around that side. Sorry. Yeah, to medicine, so people can learn how to, as a doctor in training, see what the inside of the body is like without necessarily cutting open a cadaver anymore, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of research because computers have now got powerful enough that we can do full-on animation inside this. If you've been walking around today, you might have seen a few exhibits that are doing VR. Thanks. One of the areas that we really like VR is it's not just about the immersive imagery, but how humans can interact with it to control a computer. So there's a company called Fove out of Japan now that have done a headset where it uses eye tracking. And now in Japan, they're using these headsets to teach disabled students how to play the piano using their eyes, which I think is really cool. So, do you want to chuck one of these around now? So we're now sending around a thing called a Google Cardboard. So if you've heard of an Oculus Rift, you pay hundreds of dollars for this gadget and you can control your computer with it. Or you can pay a lot less money and you have a Google Cardboard, which is this device where all you need is your mobile phone. We're sending one around now for people to look at, or if that doesn't make it later today, you can come visit our booth on 60. We've got a whole pile. We're going to give some away and you can sit there, use one of the mobile phones we've got and just experience for yourself VR without needing to have one of these. Do you want to? So the one we're sending around doesn't have anything to look at, it's just to look at the cardboard bit. Oh. Again, the one that's coming around doesn't have anything you can see in it. If you have to come to our booth afterwards, because we've got a couple of mobile phones kitted up with an app, so you can see for yourself how they actually work. Where this gets interesting with these, and this camera that Anthony's now going to hold up, which is a Ryko Theta, it's a surround sound, a surround vision camera. Basically, it lets you take a 360-degree image without having to take a normal camera and take a whole bunch of photos and stitch it. So that's just going to come around for people to have a look at. So basically, you can get into VR for paying for a small amount of money for a cardboard viewer, your mobile phone, and a couple $100 camera these days. So it's pretty impressive what you can do. And this is the fun bit where I switch over to a video or an actual app. So that camera that's coming around, you can either have an app on your phone or an app on a laptop. And this is a video that was taken in the laboratory at University of South Australia using this camera. And what you can do on the laptop, because it's obviously not a VR device, is you can see what you took with that camera. And as you can see, you can look in all dimensions at once. So that camera that's coming around is what this is capable of doing. And earlier today, we took another picture here. Is that going to work? All right. So here's one from earlier today at Maker Faire. So you can see it's not just a prop. Sorry? Oh yeah, there's no phone in the viewer that's going around. If you want to see it with the phone, and you'll have to come visit us afterwards. So as you can see, that camera can take a true everywhere picture, just like that. So back to the... And like I said, we've got a whole heap to give away. We think we've got about 15 to 20 left. So we're at booth 61 next to University of South Australia, so swing by. We've got a couple of other interesting gadgets there on display as well. And we'll just give a short plug. As part of our mission to help get technology and computers into the community, we run occasionally some courses too. So last year we ran a short course in Arduino programming aimed at hobbyists and engineers that weren't familiar with it. So keep an eye out for next year. We post our material on the Hackerspace mailing list and Linux SA and other places, as well as to our members. We'd also like to give a plug to the Women in Engineering chapter, which is also here in South Australia. So they serve to promote science and technology and engineering to girls and women as a career as well. And like I said, come and check out our booth. So thank you very much. Oh, how much time have we got left? All right, where's that? Go and grab the camera, Anthony. So we're going to do a live demo, so we've got some time. So Anthony's just going to go stand over here. So, yeah, just go take a picture now. Turn it on. So we're going to turn this on and take a picture of the place. And now we're going to upload it and look at it. I mean, ho-hum, it's just a digital camera, but anyway, it's a slightly different one from normal. Do you want to get the Thico app on? I think you said you turn it off and on again. Is this it? No, go to the Explorer. That's it. So open it up, just drag it onto the hard drive. That one, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's it.
What about?
Just documents. Desktop, doesn't matter. Right, so then you just do this. So this is how easy this is. It's like just live dangerously, do a live demo. There it is. Sweet. So it's come out a bit blurry, unfortunately, because of the lighting, but as you can see, here we all are. All right, thank you very much.